Welcome back to 40 the gang. You're chilling with me, your host Lila Bloom, and today I'm having it. I am with Noxolo Tshili, also known as Noxy, a makeup artist, a student at the University of Witwatersrand, a SoundCloud musician, and also a YouTuber. So join hands in welcoming Noxolo Tshili. Hi Lila, thanks for having me. It's very nice sitting here with you. We always see each other. I think my guests have seen you before.
Is it?
Yes, on the short video that we did.
Oh yes.
And it actually has the most views on my shorts, which is like very
That's
interesting.
Great. I hope this one also has the most views.
I really hope so, hey.
Yes.
So can you please just tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, what you do?
Okay, so I am Noxolo Tshili, university student at the University of the Witwatersrand. I'm also a SoundCloud musician. I'm a singer. Sometimes I rap. Sometimes I do poetry as well. I am a makeup artist. I'm most of all an intellect and thinker, I guess. Oh, and a content creator because I am on YouTube and TikTok as well.
So for them to follow you on your platforms, can you please share your platform names before we continue with the conversation?
Okay, so on TikTok and Instagram, I am Noxdegarçon, which is NOXDESGARCON. Noxdegarçon on Instagram and TikTok. And on SoundCloud, I'm Nox, which is NAUGHKS. It sounds like I have an identity crisis, actually.
But yeah, do follow Nox and watch her vlogs on Instagram. Her reels on Instagram, actually, they are such interesting reels.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm very happy and very excited for the conversation that we're going to have today. As the guests may have seen from the thumbnail, that today we're going to talk about how people just wanting to interact with people that fall within the religion that they're part of limits their reach in terms of connecting and actually growing their businesses. Can you just tell us a little bit about your religion and how maybe having a narrow mindset limits one from like exploring and getting to make connections, like long-lasting connections?
So, I believe I am more of like a spiritual person. Like I'm more of like into African spiritual beliefs. But, my mom is a preacher. So I grew up with a very Christian basis, a Christian foundation, and more or less I am a pluralist. So I mix both religions or belief systems, which has worked out pretty well for me. And I guess, I can say that I'm not very narrow-minded in that term, in that aspect, because, like you get different views from both belief systems and you put them together, and it makes you more open-minded as when you look at other people as well, you see that, okay, no, you can work with people from other religions as well. You can make two things work together and you don't have to be at conflict necessarily, you know? So yes, that's what I believe in. There's always a chat on TikTok, because I'm on TikTok a lot, but I think in the general public in South Africa that you can't believe in God and Jesus Christ as well as your ancestors, you know, because God says you can't worship other idols and all that. And I feel like that's very limiting. And there's so many ways to look at it. But let's not get into the spiritual and religious conversation like that. But I feel like we shouldn't look at religions as opposing each other, but more like working together. Because at the end of the day, I believe that religions have one goal and one teaching, you know?
I do get that, and I agree with you a lot on the fact that obviously a lot of religions should not, I don't want to say all, but most religions, their goal is good and it's good for humanity, and it's to promote like this very good social like state of things.
Harmony.
Yes, harmony. Stuff like don't kill each other, love each other, be good towards one another, But then I feel like I often find a lot of people saying that they don't see why as Christians they would have friends that are maybe atheists, they would connect with, they don't know what they would connect with, why they would connect with someone who does traditional stuff because our spirits don't align. And you see even other Christians complaining that even when you stand in a queue and there's someone who does like spiritual practices or traditional practices and they're in the queue, they are bothered by that because their spirits those spirits of that person is heavy on them, and others don't even attend other family functions. They don't even eat certain foods at family functions because now they're like, no, we don't align with that, and you guys doing that is worshipping other gods, like you said, so we're not going to like follow suit. As a result, find out they limit their reach of their own business.
I think one of the best things that happened to us as a country, South Africa, was secularism, where we're not bound by one religion, or our constitution is not bound by one specific religion, which means that all people of different religions can exist in harmony together, which is not necessarily the case, but the idea. We don't really exist in harmony. And I think when we use religion as a basis for someone's humanity, that's kind of like the root cause of religious wars, for example, like the one in Palestine and Israel and stuff. I think people focus on the more negative aspects, the difference. And when we start focusing on difference, there's conflict comes out of that. So if we focused more on like being one and being human and accepting each other and our religions and what they do for us and what they teach us, because they teach loving your neighbor, right? All religions have that. Love, respect, working towards being a better person. So if people focused more on those things, I think we wouldn't have wars, we wouldn't have religious discrimination, we wouldn't have, Holocaust and genocides and things like that based off religion, So I feel like we need to start looking at each other more as like a people of one, because we're all under, maybe some people don't necessarily believe in God or they believe in science or whatever, but whatever it is that has brought us here, we're all the same. And the main purpose or goal of humanity is to love each other and become better versions of us. So I think that's what we should be preaching,
I get you, and I agree with that, because, it's funny how people want to stick to one religion because that's what they believe, but then at the end of the day, people use cell phones, like let's say Christians use cell phones, or people who are like focused on the ideal of doing things in a very traditional manner, they still use cell phones and cell phones aside. So you see, even if you're trying to run away from it, but somehow, somewhat, the other practices feed into who you are and what we're trying to achieve as our goals at the end of the day. It is quite interesting. So the type of hair that you do, now let's go to that. You said not hair. So now the type of makeup that you do. Can you please just tell our audience a little bit about your makeup skills and how they can get a hold of you again? Just a reminder of how they can get a hold of you again so that you can connect maybe your client.
So I do since I've started to learn, I taught myself how to do makeup.
That's interesting, and that's good.
I learned from like TikTok and YouTube and everything, so I classify as a self-taught makeup artist. So since I've been learning, I've just been doing like basic, simple makeup looks, like your soft glam, lip glam, whatever. But now that I'm getting better at it, I've been trying to do like more creative, editorial makeup, like Y2K. I'm trying to expand my boundaries and like try new things. So if you're into that stuff, or if you just want to look cute for your graduation or your party, just hit me up. My Instagram is verified by Nox, and our slogan is everybody has a baddie inside of them. You just have to unleash it on a budget, of course.
That's quite interesting. Speaking of being a baddie, news has it that you're Nicki Minaj fan.
Yes, sir.
Can you please do a line, your favorite? Also, you're an artist. You didn't mention that.
Oh my
Unfortunately,
God.
we don't have the mics, a studio for you to sing. But in the future, when you come back, you will definitely rap for us and sing for us in the sound. Just be there,
I feel so ambushed.
It's for the audience.
Okay.
It's for the people.
Doesn't have to be Nicki. I could do Beyonce.
Okay, you can do Beyonce.
Okay. Let me see. Country, petty, all those same to me, plain Jane spaghetti. No sauce. Too soft. That's as much as I can remember.
That's quite interesting. Thank you so much for doing that for us. Really appreciate it. And thank you so much for engaging with us on such a very quite interesting interview. And shout out to all the TikTok and YouTubers that are teaching our ladies how to do makeup. Not only ladies, because there's nothing wrong for you to be a guy and also be a makeup artist as well. So to everyone who's just teaching people how to do it, thank you and keep on doing the work that you're doing.
Big shout out to people like you as well, content creators. You guys inspire us, eh? I'm so inspired by you. Like, I can't even explain.
Thank you.
You're so consistent.
Much.
You are so perfect at this.
I think it's you guys as well. That thing of just feeding into one another, like how it's a chain, or should I say it's a cycle. Now that you actually saying you appreciate what I do, you're also like a YouTuber who also got some tips from other YouTubers. Yes. And now I, as a YouTuber, I'm talking to you and other people that are watching. I'm sure they are also YouTubers and whatever they do, they're also getting inspiration from this. Yes. So let's just work together like in harmony,
and don't
or
give
try
up, guys.
to like reach that harmonious state, even though it's like something that we'll always be running towards that we will never really fully realize, but at least we can be close to it, as close to it as we can be.
That is so true. That's so true. I'm so inspired by like content creators, or any kind of creators at all. Like, I'm very inspired. The fact that you wake up from your bed, you have an idea in your head, you put it to you bring it into existence, that's so inspiring. That's really cool. I think creators are the most precious people on earth.
We are the most precious people on earth. Thank you so much.
I love you guys.
Bye.
Bye guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.